I went to McMaster University. I chose McMaster for the program. So I graduated with a Bachelor of Commerce in Integrated Business and Humanities. And so Integrated Business and Humanities, IBH for short, was a relatively new program at the time. My year was like only the second cohort, and I had no idea this program existed. But I went to the university fair in Toronto, and my dad was like, you just need to look at every single school. And I had my heart set on like going to different other schools and visiting them. But McMaster was first, and the IBH like booth was right there at the very front. And I met the program director there. He was super passionate about it. And I was like, wow, this program really intrigued me for a lot of different reasons. But it was basically like a business program, which I knew I wanted, but it was a little bit more. Like there was a lot more specialized courses that it offered. It was really cool to have the program director right there with me, like talking to me, learning about who I am. And he was very invested in that and invested in his students' learning. And I was like super interested in the program from that point on. So then I visited McMaster, chose that because it was just like I fell in love with the school and everything. And I was so happy I did that. I did, just because I think I knew like the path that I wanted to take required a more like university, or like it required a degree as opposed to going to college. I'm definitely not as much of a hands-on type of person, but yeah, I always knew I wanted to go to university. I was excited about like the prospect of learning in a different environment and that sort of thing. It definitely is a big change just by nature of like how university classes are, the scheduling of it, extracurriculars and everything. You are doing everything on your own. You don't have like the bell to tell you where to go, your teachers to guide you in the right direction. It's all self-management, but you're forced to be more independent in that way. So it is an adjustment, but it's a really great learning experience. And at least in my experience at McMaster, there's so many people and resources to help you. And the other thing is everyone is in the same boat. So you're all experiencing it together, which is really special. I graduated from the Bachelor of Commerce program in Integrated Business and Humanities at Mac, and I also got a minor in sustainability. My program was essentially a business program, but it combined some other specialized courses to supplement that. So those were like the humanities side of things. So we took courses in leadership development, community engagement, ethics, moral issues. Those were the more like first and second year courses that we looked at alongside our typical like accounting, marketing, those sorts of things. So we kind of combined the two. And then as we went into the upper years, we found that the courses they kind of bridged the gap between the two a lot more, which is really cool. And there's only about 50 students in my cohort. So what we did was like a lot of group projects. We did a lot of like community partnerships with local businesses and partners to do more like consulting based work with them. So that was the nature of my program. It was really cool. Again, like the uniqueness of the program, it's the only program in Canada of its kind, just because it combined two different disciplines, like the business side of things and humanities. So I took classes under both faculties, which was really cool. And then also, again, it was only 50 students in every cohort. So I knew that I would get to be really hands-on with my learning in the sense that I got to like speak with my professors on the daily basis. They knew my name, I obviously knew theirs, but they really were like focused on our success and as a cohort, like ensuring that we're all on the same page and that sort of thing. Yeah, 100%. My program was really special in the sense that it was made up of students and professors like who inspired me every day. I'm super grateful for that. I learned a lot that I both like inside the classroom and outside of the classroom. And I think that's a big part of university. And we had some really cool projects, like I mentioned, like working with businesses and community partners. I was able to feel like I was actually making a difference, and regardless of whether or not they used our solutions or ideas, it was still a really great experiential learning opportunity, which was great. And then also, the other big thing is they really encouraged us to participate in extracurricular activities as well. And that was really important to me coming from Bluebell. I was quite involved. So they wanted us to supplement our learning that way. So I did feel a strong sense of belonging, not just in the IBH community in my program, but also in McMaster and in the Hamilton community as well. So after I graduated last year, I went into a career in the tech sector. So I currently work for a tech company in sales and customer success. So what that basically means is I support the sales team. Once they convert someone to a customer, I ensure that they're just ready to go with our software and do that sort of thing. My previous internship experience throughout university was mostly in the tech space, and then in sales operations, marketing as well. So that's where I am right now. We'll see what I do later on, but yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. To be honest, it wasn't easy, but I think it was also because of the time that I graduated. Just unfortunately, the job market last year wasn't too great, and there's a lot of new grads with a lot of really great experience. But I think what you just need to I just reminded myself that it will take time. I just had to be patient. It took me about a month to find a job once I started looking, but there's resources to help you, and especially during university, when I did my internships, it was quite easy for me to find a job, to be honest, because there's so many resources to help you. After university, I chose to not go back to my internship, and I had a couple different internships, and I chose not to go back to those. So obviously it would have been easier if I did go back to them, because I would just have a job right out of the gate. But in my case, I wanted to just try something new. And with that, in any position, no matter what degree or anything you're doing, that is kind of a challenge, just because you're pivoting and trying to figure out what works for you, what doesn't. So I found that a bit challenging, but thankfully once I got I reached out to different connections and networked a little bit, I was able to find a job fairly quickly after that. Yeah, oh my gosh. I guess I have two main things. Is the one, university flies by so fast. So be very intentional with where you put your time and energy. And what I mean by that is take the time to foster really strong relationships with your friends, your peers, your profs. That's really important, but also in your work, work smarter, not harder. Make sure you go to class, that helps. And do your best not to procrastinate, because all of those things you just have to consider with regards to what you're putting your energy and time into, because you're gonna want to hang out with people and enjoy your time there, but also you don't want to be too stressed about your work. So make sure you get your work done early so that you can enjoy yourself later. And while you're doing that, be kind to yourself as well. There was many times where university was quite difficult, but that's really temporary. So it's a good reminder to just be kind to yourself always, and don't compare yourself to other people, and give yourself grace while you're working through that, because there's no point in stressing out at all.